Everyone seems to say this lens is the GOAT, but don't just believe the hype. In fact, if you stick around until the end, you'll understand exactly why this lens may or may not be for you. Okay, so the first bad thing about this Fujifilm 18 to 55mm kit lens is that it has a variable aperture. Many zoom lenses will have variable apertures, and what that basically means is as you move through the zoom range, the aperture will close down, and this can limit you, as you'll find out later. This also creates a weird flickering effect when you zoom in while you're recording a video on this lens. I personally love to add a zoom to the middle of a recording, but with this lens, it just looks kind of ugly. But one good thing about this lens is that the build is exceptional. Most kit lenses you're gonna find are gonna be plastic and just not that great, but this thing has a really nice metal build and it's got really cool controls. It's got an aperture ring, which is so nice for just quickly changing your aperture, and it's really tactile too. This lens also has a really nice zoom feel and a very smooth manual focusing ring, which can't be said for all kit lenses out there. This is just a really solid built lens. But unfortunately, it is not weather sealed, which means you're gonna have to be careful on the beach, in the rain, or in your dusty ass room. That's all there is to say about weather sealing. It's a great feature to have, kind of a negative, but not a huge loss. Another thing that's great about this lens is that the size and weight are just right to balance on most Fujifilm bodies. This lens is just heavy enough to give your camera a nice weight to it, but it's also not so heavy that your camera starts to feel front heavy, which can be an issue with a lot of longer lenses or lenses with a lot more internals that weigh a lot. Not only is it a nice weight, but it's also a perfect size for travel. Now, yes, you're gonna get this with a lot of kit lenses that are 18 to 55mm, but it's just a nice feature to have. I could easily see you using this as a travel lens. Okay, but I must say, back to the aperture, it is not great for low light. If you're at 18mm all the way zoomed out, then you can shoot at f2.8, which is not that bad, but for this shot right now, I am shooting at f1.4 on my 35mm lens, and I had to bump the ISO all the way up to 4000 to correctly expose it, which is kind of a trade-off already, and that's at f1.4. So you can imagine for this kind of setup, if you're shooting at f2.8, you're gonna have to shoot way too high with the ISO and you're gonna introduce a lot of grain. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this is a variable aperture, so as you zoom in, it's only gonna get worse. This goes for photo and video, but especially video because you're gonna not want your shutter speed to go too low. But if you're taking photos and you need your shutter speed to be really low, like 1/4 of a second, this lens has OIS. Optical Image Stabilization. This allows you to not only shoot at lower shutter speeds handheld, but also to shoot video handheld and have the results look actually usable. That is not something I can say on many lenses that I use with this Fujifilm X-T3 because the camera does not have image stabilization built in. So having OIS in this lens is a huge plus for me, and I believe a huge plus for many of you too. But finally, the last negative that I have for this lens, and a reason that you may not want to buy it, is the price is kind of lofty. Most kit lenses for, let's say, Canon, Sony, are gonna be much cheaper than this thing. This thing is expensive on the used market. It is no secret that it's a great lens. So if you're looking for ultimate value, maybe look into some primes or even something like the Fujifilm 15 to 45mm, which is gonna be way cheaper. You pretty much get what you pay for. You're paying for a lens that is very well-rounded. But that gets me to the conclusion, which is that this is exactly what a kit lens should be. Sure, it does not excel in any specific area, but it does everything pretty well. It is really the jack of all trades, but the master of none, if not maybe one, which is build quality. It's an expensive lens, but it's not just a throwaway like many kit lenses are. So if you're looking for your first Fujifilm lens or just a very well-rounded travel lens, then this might just be the perfect lens for you. Thank you.